welcome back to this week's YouTube video, which took me days to make because I caught me a good old flu, and if you hear the noise in the background, that is Storm Barra making landfall. I better take in my pots because they'll end up on the M50. So this week's DIY kept me going. Oh my god, I got this free kitchen. Got it off Adverts. It's absolutely in bits, which you're about to see, and I'm going to show you how I gave it a makeover. It is for my niece. It was supposed to be for Christmas, but I forgot to cover it, so she was playing with it throughout the process. She has not seen the final reveal, and I've hidden it and I've covered it with a blanket, so when she visits my house I hope she doesn't find it, because I do want to keep the final reveal for Christmas, and I've put all the toys in it and it is so cute. Let's get straight into the video. Okay, here she is. Here is the before of this lovely kitchen. I am so excited. Okay, it's got a bad makeover. Somebody sprayed it with pebble spray paint. I don't know if you can see. Let me see. It's like, you know, that textured pebble spray paint that like Rust-Oleum do, and there's like white paint underneath, so I don't know if the white paint is like an undercoat, but I don't think it's too thick. But what I love is we've got this lovely cottagey paneling on the back, and the whole thing is made in solid wood. So it's like made from lovely pine, thick wood. Like, look how thick the panel of wood is. And we've got hobs on the kitchen. We've got the holes and all for the knobs, and this is like there's a shelf and everything in it. I'm not sure what this is actually, because there's a piece of wood at the back. See what I mean? I think they were just making like a little box shelf. Maybe this could be like the cooker. I'm not sure. But I just think this is adorable, and it just needs TLC. But all of the material is solid. So the plan is to strip this, and it's winter. Let me just show you the back as well. So that paneling is on the back. So they obviously ran out of spray paint on the back, but I don't know if you can see, there's bits of orange. So this is what happens when you don't prime knotty wood, so like pine. So if you don't prime it, those little knots at the front, let me show you, they will bleed. So these wood knots bleed oil, and that's what happens if you don't like prime them or block them. So that's what's happened at the back. So just a little tip, always put primer if you're painting this type of wood. So as you can see here, there's a lovely chip, and yeah, this will come off handy enough, I'm hoping. So as it's winter, I'm not going to use a chemical stripper. I have Authentico's Bio Strip, but I would need to you can use the Bio Strip inside because there's no harsh chemicals in it, but I would have to wash and rinse it, and it's kind of cold outside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my heat gun and open the door to see if I can scrape off most of the paint, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do. Within 2 minutes of starting the heat gun in the kitchen, my fire alarm went off. That was not a smart move. Do not use your heat gun inside. I did before, but yeah, I don't know. This was obviously way too stinky for the house. So I brought my whole kitchen outside, which I didn't want to do. It was chilly, but I just wrapped up, and I used the heat gun to get most of the paint off. Unfortunately, this was a horrible paint to get off because it was just thick, textured spray paint, and it was all right like on the back and the sides, but see on the front bit I had to take the inside shelf off, I had to take the taps off, I had to take off as much as I could to get in and get at all of the nooks and crannies. But this took me hours to strip, so if you were thinking of spraying something with pebble spray paint, I encourage you to think otherwise.
already have. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use this one.
So, what do you think of the colour? Do you still want me to put some pink on it?
Yep.
But you like the wood as well?
Yeah. There's a little wood right there, but there's kind of lots of wood here, but I don't know why it's there.
I just couldn't get all of the paint off. But do you like the bits that I did get the paint off?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do a little bit of paint and a little bit of wood.
Yep.
After a seal of approval from my niece, she actually snuck into my house, started playing with the kitchen. I copped her and I was like, oops, you weren't supposed to see that. But I decided to just get her involved in the design process. So I am priming the inside. So I'm going to be doing the inside of the cabinet in a cream colour and the back of the kitchen, so just behind the cooker, I'm going to be painting that in a cream shade. Now, you can probably hear from my voice, I am congested. I had to stay at home and self-isolate until I got a negative PCR test, and I had to use what I had, which was good. So I am using the paint that I used on the IKEA wall unit that I did in my office, and it is the Benjamin Moore cream paint. I'll put the shade on the screen because I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I used the primer and the Benjamin Moore paint that I had left over, and you'll see as well that I'm going to whitewash the sides of the wood. So I went for like a two-tone effect. So I've got white cream painted panels on my piece, and then I also have whitewashed wood as well. So it's quite easy to do a whitewashed effect. I simply just did a mixture like half and half water, half paint, and it's the same cream Benjamin Moore paint that I'm using, and I'm just using a sponge to work it into the wood. I just wanted to have that lovely grain showing through, but I just didn't want the yellow tone of the wood. And also, when this all dries in, I am going to give it a seal of some polyurethane spray. But we have a storm coming tomorrow, Storm Barra I think it's called, and I need to bring this out to the garden to spray the lacquer on it, but it's gonna have to wait a few days. But I will spray it to seal it all in before I do hand it over. Next step on my list of things to finish off on the kitchen is just painting the hobs and also getting some knobs and some details as well. had way too much fun styling the inside of the kitchen, and also I did want to, because I couldn't get to the shops this week because I was kind of keeping away from people, I wanted to get like something that I could make a sign with my Cricut, maybe saying like Lily's Kitchen or like Cottage Kitchen, but what I did was all of the energy I had for this week. I also want to direct you to last year's video, which is the dollhouse makeover, another one of my faves. So I'm gonna pop a card, check out the dollhouse makeover. Still one of my faves. Love the Sylvanians. And also, if you are, because Christmas, whether you have kids or not, it's just an expensive time, and obviously this year there's like supply issues and things like that, but I love flipping toys this time of year. Elf Dainty, I've got the pointy ears and all. Elf Dainty takes on a commission for Santi, and I love flipping toys. I have another video where I flipped a toy market. The toy market was one of the ones that was originally, I think it was from like Lidl or Aldi. I'm going to direct you to that video as well. Maybe I should make a playlist. I've got the dollhouse flip, I've got the market flip, I've got an IKEA easel makeover with an apron, and I've got the IKEA kitchen. So I might actually make a toy flip playlist that you can click, and all those videos will be in one place, because actually now that I think of it, I do have a couple of toy flip makeovers. I'm so sorry, I am full of congestion. The joys of, you know what, I hate blaming my niece and nephew, but I haven't even been in the pub. My close contacts is like a 4 and a 5-year-old. Since everyone's gone like back to school and mixing and stuff, this is like my 3rd ailment in 6 weeks. I've increased my vitamin D, I'm on my vitamins. I'm just like, you know, I think I just need to get on the large bottles of Guinness. Hot whiskies worked as well. I am feeling much better than I sound. I felt really bad the weekend, but I had a negative test as well, so this is just good old fashioned, been around a while, influenza. I'm now going into the garden to take in my pots because Storm Barra shining in my eyes, but there's an orange warning for Dublin, but the poor west of Ireland got bashed. They have a red warning, and it's only lunchtime. I think we're to get a bit bad this evening, and I was like, my greenhouse, it's my first storm to have, oh, they should get gone. It's my first storm with the greenhouse, and I was like, my greenhouse is gonna like blow over, but it's solid. It's a solid construction, but in my head I was like, oh God, you know, it's just gonna fly over the wall, but that's some good construction. Anyway, cheeky thumbs up if you enjoyed this week's video. If you are new to my channel, please do hit that subscribe button. Check out my recent videos. Have a look at that playlist that I mentioned, and I'll see you all in the next video.